Hey everyone, David here from Black Badger Software Solutions. What we have for you here is a small snippet from our Monday.com basic training course. In the video, pretty cut and dry, straight to the point. This is exactly how you do A, B, and C in Monday.com with a screen share so you can follow along and actually do what I'm telling you to do by following along on the screen. So I hope you enjoy. Hey everyone, welcome back to this beginner course. So the next thing we're going to do is cover all of the basic settings that you're going to need. So what you're going to do is navigate to the top right-hand corner where you will see either your avatar or your initials, depending on if you uploaded a profile picture or not. And we're going to look at just a few of these here. I'm going to open these up in new tabs so I can quickly go between them. The first is My Profile. The second is Administration. All right, so going over here to your personal information, this is where you can add your title, your email, various pieces of information. You can also modify what these are but we'll get into that later because that's not really essential to setting up the account. Then you have your working status. Now, none of these actually have any sort of automations associated with them. All they really do is change your avatar by having these little indications. And they do have to be manual. So personally, I find it a bit of a waste of time, other than working from home, if that's going to be a permanent status, or perhaps if you're on break for a long period of time. Otherwise, you should just leave this in the office or whatever you want. Then you have your user activity. This, once disabled, means people won't know if you're active or not. Here you can change your password. Here you can set your language, region, time, format, and date. This is only unique to you. Next, we have your notifications. Very important because this is how you can prevent yourself from getting a million of them or only seeing the ones you want to see. Now, first and foremost, here's desktop notifications if you plan on working from a web browser instead of actually using the app. Next, we have email notifications. You are by default on every single notification, and this can be a little cumbersome because you will get a lot of emails. So if you prefer to work from email, then great. You might want to leave most of these on, but here you can go through and modify them as you see fit. Then we have, let me collapse this, Slack notifications. This requires an integration with Slack, and that is not going to be covered in this video, but in a later integration video. And then we have In Monday. Now, what this means is when you will actually get notifications just here in your notifications settings. So here there's very few options, and you can just turn these on and off if you want. If you plan on keeping your Monday open in a web tab, I do recommend leaving all of these on and turning off most of, if not all of the email notifications. Then you have session history. This is your session history, and you can't see anyone else's. One last thing to note is that if you did want to change your profile picture, all you have to do is click on your profile picture, and that's how you change that. All right, the next thing we're going to do is close this out and go over to settings. Now, the first setting you'll be on is general. Here you have your account name, which you can actually change. Just notice that if you do attempt to change this and you hit save changes, it will give you a little bit of a warning, and everyone's going to have to relog back in. I don't recommend changing unless if you have to or you really want to change the name. Try and do it as early as possible before you get a lot going on in your account. So I'm not going to do that. Then we have your account. You can set the first day of the week, timelines, whether you want to hide or show weekends, and here's where you can export your account data. Next, we have customization. This is where you have your branding. So this logo right here will affect this logo right here, next to your avatar/initials. And then this is the email header, email notifications. Next, we have features. These are pretty self-explanatory in terms of enabling or disabling them. Here you have setting default statuses for every board. So this will apply to the entire account. So if you didn't want your basic statuses to say done working on it or stuck, as you will notice here, done working on it or stuck, you can adjust them. Here you have user profiles. This is where if you're an admin, you can actually go in and adjust these, whether or not they are shown, hidden. I'm sorry, the blue means if they're mandatory. You can add a new one, such as putting your own logo, naming it, and putting a placeholder text. And then we have, again, another section of notifications. Next, we're going to go to users. This is where you can invite new people, change their user type, see what products they're in, and just get a really good idea of all of the users in your account. This is also where you can deactivate or delete users. Again, I'm the only person and an admin, so I can't do that. You can download all user data to CSV. Here, if you're on Enterprise, you can set up departments. Here you can set board ownership. This is important if someone leaves and you need to turn over board ownership to someone else. You select the current owner and then you change it over. And this is the same with automation. So if someone leaves, you're going to want to turn over automation and board ownership before you delete them from your system. All right, next we have security. If you need to set any sort of specific security, such as very strict password policy, which means it needs to be a minimum of their characters, etc., then you can do that in here. Otherwise, you'll see that a lot of these are enterprise features. You can enable two-factor authentication, though, on the Pro plan. Audit, compliance, and advanced are only for enterprise. Next, we are only going to go to billing. Here's where it shows you what plan you're on, what the status of your plan is, how many days are left, how many members, guests, viewers, and on which products. This would only show up if you're paid. As you can see, here's all invoices, payment methods, and billing contacts. Once you have that set up, that would all show. So there you go. That's the basic gist of the administration section. Now what we're going to do is cover a couple more features. And that is just the change theme. If you want to go from light and dark, night, or set system default. I'm going to leave it on light. And then you have do not disturb on and off. Again, explains exactly what will happen if you do that. Here's how you log out of your account. And here's how you can also change those statuses that affect your avatar, such as on break, you'll see it appears up here. And that's the basic beginner overview of your settings. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed that video. As I said, I thought it's pretty cut and dry and very precise. Like, look, it's just do this, this, this. No fluff in the videos. So, and that's pretty much what the whole course is about. It's about 45 videos. They're all between 1 to 8 minutes long of just, this is exactly how you use Monday.com. It defines the terms, it defines how you use it, and it shows you exactly where to go and how to do it. If you want any more information on how to do that course, you can find the information in the description below. Otherwise, please like, subscribe, and follow, and leave a comment if you have one. Thanks.